Welcome to episode 4 of the Marriage Material podcast. We are your hosts, Kev and
Kylie.
And we are very excited today to talk about the 2-week Kylie and Kev wedding adventure that we're going to have in August of 2024, which follows on last week where we spoke all about the actual wedding day, thoughts and ideas of the wedding day. Now we're going to be talking about what the goal is or what the vision is or what the hopes and the dreams are for a 2-week adventure. So let's start there. Why 2 weeks? Why was we thinking 2 weeks?
Why not? But no, in seriousness, I think it's a holiday as well. I think we've always said that. We've got hopefully a lot of friends and a lot of family that are going to be coming to join on this celebration that we're doing with each other. And I also just think I think we've mentioned previously, of course it's the wedding day, but it's the excitement of the build-up. So the 2 weeks while we're going to be there is hopefully going to be, jam-packed to a certain degree, but then also very chilled as well on certain days. So I think that's a goal that we would like for 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I think for me it was if you was just to go out for, let's say, 3-4 days.
Yep.
I don't think it'd be enough time. It'd feel very rushed. You get there, you get settled in your environment, then all of a sudden it's the wedding. And then you're back at home. So we wanted to come up with an all packaged sort of like put holiday in with the actual wedding itself. So that's why we thought, 2 weeks is always a good time. It also allows our friends and family we all on holiday together. Obviously, like you just mentioned, the actual build up to the wedding itself is super, super exciting. So let's get into what the thoughts and what we're doing for those 2 weeks then. So if you do enjoy this at any time, please give it a big thumbs up, or please comment, or please subscribe to the podcast. We really appreciate all the feedback that we've been getting. Thank you very much. And yeah, let's get into the 2 weeks.
Okay, so 2nd of August is when we're going to be flying out.
We hope for the 2nd. So the idea behind that is we needed to put a flagpole on when the actual wedding is. And when you think of a 14-day period, we were kind of thinking to ourselves, well, we don't want to have the wedding at the start because it will give us 10 days to try putting some tan as quickly as possible. We're going to get all as much of the tanning lotions out as much as possible. The accelerators are out.
We cannot be a burnt bride. Bridesmaids, maid of honour. We cannot be a burnt bride. Bride.
So we are going to be sun worshipping to try getting to the point where maybe people have got over the burn stage or the red stage and now starting to get into a nice colour because and that's why we thought, okay, why not put the wedding on day 11? Because at the same time, what you don't want to do is, or what we didn't want to do, is we didn't want to have the wedding, let's say, day 13, and then that would be serious wedding blues at that point if you were going home straight after the wedding. So I think day 11's great because then it does give us day 12, day 13, a couple of days afterwards to still enjoy the sun, now being husband and wife. So we then have 2 weeks to play with. Like, what is it that we ultimately want to do? And I think just going to Ibiza for our engagement moon was brilliant because it allowed us to experience some parts of the island already. Not all of them, and we've always there's some parts that we still want to go visit, which allows us to go, okay, why don't we go see if we can do something on those particular days? So what would you say is a couple of the things that you when we say like the flag of the wedding day is day 11, what are the other flags that we're going to have?
I think we've spoken about potentially, hopefully, being able to hire a boat to do like an excursion type of thing on. I know for myself, I'd like to have a few days potentially where we go to like the old town as we've mentioned, and just see a little bit more. Because I mean, I've personally never been to Old Town in Ibiza,
No, never.
but from what I've seen and like it looks lovely. So I would really like to pencil that into some point. Of course, like there's nice meals to go and have and, drinks and things like that. So I can't say right now I've really got a itemized list of being like, I really want to go here and I really would like to see there. It's kind of all a big blur. One thing I would like to do is that Cafe Mumbo. I would like to get booked in there to have a nice meal and watch the sunset. Because again, never done that either.
Which would be quite nice. Obviously, we don't know exactly when, but that would be quite nice to do towards the back end of the holiday. To kind of see the sunset. It is one of those things. It's the end of the day, but it can also then tie into like the end of the adventure that we've just had. I agree with yourself. There's so many there's so much that you can do in Ibiza. For those that have ever been, please do share some recommendations, because we was only there for 3 days and there's so much that you can do. We couldn't get round absolutely everything, but we definitely like the culture. We definitely like I'm very much interested in like the history. Like the Old Town looks amazing when you look at the photos and everything. So it'd be nice to walk around the streets of Old Town and get that experience. So that might be a day.
Yeah. I also think, just sorry to interrupt, but I also think just having them down days as well, where it doesn't, I'm not really thinking to have every single day mapped out. I do like the thought of having days where we are just by the pool, because as you've just mentioned at the start, a big factor is like you want to have a nice tan. I definitely don't want to be burnt, all jokes aside, because that happens. Like, you want to have that nice leeway to prior the wedding where it's you've got them. You want it to be relaxing. I can only imagine that it's going to be quite. I'm not going to say stressful, because I hope it's not stressful, but it's definitely going to be a mix of emotions day to day. And the closer the days get towards the wedding, you're going to be under a little bit more pressure and maybe anxiety a little bit. So I definitely want to factor in just relaxation.
I mean, for us, and I think we've said this a couple of times, I think overall the adventure is really wanted to be relaxing, as chilled as possible. So although there's going to be days when we plan to do things, but we know what it's like, and you may know what it's like. When you're on holiday and you have a day out, a full day out, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a day out at the beach or a day out going walking, it is also exhausting.
It is.
So I think whatever day we plan will most likely come with the following day of a relaxing day.
Pool day.
We also have to, there's a few things that we're going to have to try flagging in, if you like, or putting into the ground is... I've always loved like water, so like you mentioned, a boat day. Whether that then it's an Old Town day. We're also going to have our stag do and hen do days.
Yep.
When we're out there, so that's another 2 days.
Mega days.
And we will be having episodes dedicated specifically to them, with potentially some special guests that you'll see on the podcast. Maybe sitting where I am or sitting where Kylie is. Coming to you, podcast near you very soon. And then obviously the wedding day, I think obviously working with the wedding planner, there may be, or there will be some type of rehearsal that we're going to have to attend. I think there's always going to be a dialogue coming up towards the wedding, like sharing photos. Do we want this? Last minute questions answered. There might be, obviously the wedding planner's there to help us out.
We'll have to like the
significantly.
rehearsal, won't you?
Yeah, but they may get that final like, this is what this looks like, this is what this looks like, this is where we're going to have that. And then and then there's a lot of relaxing, like we say. The one thing I loved about when we went to Ibiza a month or so ago was we walked by the harbour, or the pier section near that Cafe Mambo and where the San Antonio Bay is, and there was a lot of amazing looking restaurants. We as a family, we love to have we do like our food, we love to have a good drink, we love to have experienced the culture, go for and just I'm
you
really
just want to experience the whole memento of as much as you can fit in, basically, don't you? So that, I think that's the goal that we're trying to set, is just I've been watching vlogs of people who have done vlogs in the past when they've got married in Ibiza, and like just looking at what they've done and things like that, and also considering the fact that like there is a budget at the end of the day, isn't there? We can get run away with thinking let's do this and let's do that, but I think hopefully by the end of this year, we will definitely have concrete of the itinerary, I would say, and then anything to follow into the new year will just be adapting or add-ons as such. So yeah, I think as a whole, like, I'm super, super excited. Just to, one thing for me, I don't know what you're going to be doing on your stag, but I love the thought of like a themed stag. Like, I see so many hens where they're all not matching, but it's a theme. So I've spoken a few ideas I've kind of put out to people just to take note of and stuff like that. So I really look forward to listening to your Hindu podcast. I can't wait. Like, seriously, I hope when we're actually out there, I know we've mentioned about potentially doing a podcast while we're out there with the lead up, but it'd be great to have one, like you say, with myself and all the bridesmaids, just to, I don't know, before we do it as such, or maybe not, because there is that element that I would like for my I keep wanting to say stag, for my hen to be a surprise. I'll give ideas and I'll say obviously my thoughts and what I would like and definitely what I would not like, but I'm happy with having elements of I'm not knowing what I'm going to be doing. Not the whole day. I think I would like to know certain things, but yeah. Yeah, because there's going to Sorry, this is all just about me and my hens now. No. I am really looking forward to seeing your episode of the hen, and we'll do the same with the stag, because I think I've got a couple of things that I definitely would love to do, and some things that I absolutely categorically would not want to do. So that's going to be really great episodes. But for me, it's also like you just mentioned, there's a load of things that we ultimately want to do. We are still very early on getting the whole ideas, and we're working through the ideas and what the itinerary is. In terms of the challenge that we've had has been, we've had a number of our friends and family and say, whereabouts are we looking to stay? Because we haven't disclosed, as you will know, where the actual venue is. So what we are attempting to do and working through right now is where we are staying as a base. And there's a couple of options that we've gone back and forth of what we'd like to do, which is a balance between what the budget and what the feasibility is. Like, if capital or money was no object, it would be amazing to be in a enormous villa that can host 20, 25 people. But the reality of some of the places, they're absolutely spectacular. But depending on what your budget is, it could cost 20, 30, 40 plus £1,000. And I think that's where we're having to be thinking about the fact that it is a 2-week holiday as well. This is what I mean. If it was just maybe potentially going out for the wedding, you maybe would potentially be able to splurge and be like, we're only here for 3 days, so let's splurge on that. However, the fact that we're there for hopefully 2 weeks, there's got to be compromise somewhere. And not just compromise, but I also think it will be, some of the things that we've just been thinking about this last day, this morning, talking about. We're going to do a reveal. It's not really. Yeah, because no one's going to know, because we're not going to be talking to anybody until they watch this video. We could say it now, what we're thinking, because no one's going to know. Well, yeah, this is what we're going to be doing right now. We're going to be talking about what we're thinking. So he's basically saying, yes, you're right. We will do that. Yeah, we are thinking, because
one of the things that's also, when it comes to where you're going to stay as a base, was also going like, if you was just in the one place for the 2 weeks, although incredible it would be, I do like the idea of maybe splitting those 2 weeks up, where maybe the wedding week is potentially in, let's say, a villa or something, or a house, or where we can all be together, maybe more privately. But then maybe the first week is more hotel based, maybe a great hotel that's maybe an all-inclusive hotel that's got a great pool, it's got great facilities for children, being able to have good drinks, have nice meals. And then the more I think about that, what I quite like about it is why are you laughing? What I actually like about that is when you go to check out, let's say, and we've not got anything planned, we haven't got anything booked or anything, but when you check out, let's say that first week, it's not going to feel like you're not going home.
Yeah,
you are then. You'd like literally starting a second holiday.
I'm sorry, right? The reason why I'm explaining is because you have taken everything. I said this, and it's going to come across like it wasn't, but I said, when did you say that? My exact words was, we've been speaking, so if this isn't clear enough, what Kev's just said is basically, to begin with, we was thinking about trying to find...
Why are you laughing?
Trying to find just a nice villa or an apartment of some sort that we could be there with all our loved ones. However, the reality of that is it's very expensive, and also the fact that we've got a large family with a large amount of children as well. It then brings complications up as well. So literally,
I've gone into...
excuse me, it's my time. This morning, we're on our Walking Wednesdays.
Wedding Wednesday mornings.
Yeah, well, Walking Wednesdays too. And we're going back and forth because, we want to start getting things like more ticked off now, don't we? So I literally said, why don't we look for a all-inclusive hotel for the first week of the wedding? Well, I didn't even say the week, to be fair. I was just like, why don't we look for an all-inclusive, which then...
When did you say that?
About 2 hours ago.
I have no history of that.
I bet you don't. So we're thinking now of looking for an all-inclusive, because the benefits to that is once we get to Ibiza, we're going to know that we've got food, we've got drink, the children will have ice creams on tap, hopefully. There's going to be a lovely pool, because when we were, like, in all seriousness, when we were speaking this morning, it was really like, if we're going to be, like, hoping to get a villa, for the first week, we've just said we're having it relaxing, but we're also going to be doing things, throughout the days. So you're really not going to be making the most time at the villa. It would mainly be, the days when you're there chilling, of course, but it would mainly be the evenings. So then that got us onto the conversation of finding a hotel for the first week or so, and then maybe like 3 or 4 nights, maybe 5 for the
maybe 6
for the week of the wedding. We could potentially then go into a villa, which then still allows people who have booked hopefully the same hotel as us. They can still stay there, but they can come over for days to see us. I also like the fact what you've just said, which was my idea, that it's changing. So you're basically having a 2-week holiday, and you're not just in the same place. So the whole first week would have such an amazing time in the hotel and the adventures that we're hopefully going to be doing. But then the lead up, 1, you're super excited for the wedding, but then 2, you're thinking, we're going to be going to the villa, we're changing venue now. And I think for me, that's important, so we can really have that relaxed time. And, I'd like to have nice photos taken and things like that, and that is where we're thinking now, isn't it?
Yeah, so as an overview, everything that Kylie's just said is absolutely
spot
what
on.
I literally said just before you said it.
I'm going to start recording our conversations.
And I think it does split up the week. I think it would be... there's going to be days when we're all out together. Maybe, let's say we are at Old Town having a good culture day, or we do go to a beach day, or we do go to, a boat day, or whatever the case might be. where you're staying is going to be empty all that day. So you've got to have that balance between, why would you pay for something if you're only going to be wake up there, leave first thing in the morning, and then you might not even be back until 8-9 o'clock at night. So the whole place is empty all day. So that, and obviously when you've got children and you've got families and you've got loved ones, and you drinking throughout the day, eating throughout the day, etc., it does also help from a budgeting point of view and a cost perspective point of view, and all-inclusives allow you to do that. So the next thing was, obviously, from a villa perspective, for those that have potentially looked at villas or anything in the past, you'll know that, villas are all at different sizes, but usually a villa will come with a set number of people that can fit into that villa. So let's say it's a 5-bedroom villa, it will usually say, for 12 people. As soon as you start getting towards the 16 people, 20 people villas, you're now talking pretty enormous villas. And at that point, that does come then with the cost involved in it as well. So there's lots to try bringing together, which we are getting more and more close of. But at the same time, on the flip side of it, as much as maybe, we wouldn't want to be in a villa for 2 weeks, we also wouldn't want to be just in a hotel for 2 weeks either. So it's kind of like we're trying to merge the bests of the both, because there are going to be times where in a villa, you can have a barbecue, you've got a bit more of a private garden, if you like, which would be absolutely amazing to do. So the next thing, and maybe share this with you guys that are watching, which we've had a lot of questions for, is like, whereabouts do I start looking? Where do I start looking for a hotel? Because the island, although one of the big positives of the island is it's a relatively small island compared to some, you can usually get around the island within 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So what we can tell you, for those that are looking at different hotels or looking, okay, give me something. Like, we've just said Ibiza at this point. Give me something. So here's what we can give. Where we will be getting married is more of the west side of the island, stroke, if you had a hotel anywhere near sort of San Antonio Bay to the west side of the island. So that means if you was looking at hotels at, let's say, the north side of the island or the east side of the island, you're going to be maybe a bit further away. You're going to be now talking 30 to 40 minutes away, which is still not a great deal away. I mean, you're still in sort of driving distance and things, but until we find out where our base is, we're going to obviously tell you guys that straight away, because the next thing will be like invitation. We haven't even spoken about guests or invitations or anything at this point. So, in the ideal world, we'd find a great hotel for maybe the first week. We then maybe find a great villa, which is a base for us during the wedding week, which maybe allow our guests to come round, to come see us. They might not be staying there, but they can come round and see us, have drinks, chill out with us by the pool and everything. And I'm not going to lie, I love planning.
Yeah, I just love that idea. I think now thinking back to what we originally said, I think this is going to be great, because I just like the fact of the excitement of hopefully being in a hotel to then move on to a villa. And especially, like, we'll make full use of the villa with the days leading up to the wedding, because I can imagine it's going to be, a lot more just wanting to be around the villa, sort, like you mentioned, sorting out final details and things like that. There'll be the rehearsal that we have to go to. I'd love to do a night before, or I think they call it the night before party, but a nice sit down meal. And if you had a villa, that it's just a lot more intimate. And the
one thing I would also say, for those that maybe haven't experienced Ibiza before, I've only experienced it the first time, but there are difficulties of taxes around the island, and I think everybody that we spoke to straight away kind of said that. So we were to put in perspective, we was in San Antonio Bay, and any time we went on a taxi, it would usually be, let's say, 15, 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
That's how it really was, wasn't it? And every single taxi drive each way was roughly around about 20 to 25 euros, which then tells you that, like, one trip one way, then obviously if you have to get back, then it's another way. So you're now talking 40 to 50 euros. So one of the things that we were most likely going to do or look into is having a car availability. Do you know, for the days then when we do go to, like, whether we're at the villa, to be able to go to the mall or the shopping supermarket, the mall.
The mall?
Sorry, I'm around Harper. Harper always talks American to us. Harper's been calling you, like, mom. Mom. But then the days, like, say, for example, when we go to, like, Old Town or something, you know, maybe we do go drive. I don't know, because then we like to get into have some lunch with a couple of beers, and it's difficult. So you can see that we are literally in the present moment, just.
There's also the water taxis, which we only found out on the last day when we were last there. So, as Kev's just mentioned, taxis are horrendous. Like, to the wedding planners that we've spoken to whilst we were there in Ibiza in August, it is the number one factor where they literally all will say, and I can't remember that from when I went with my friends. I think that's purely because we were in the bay, well, just outside of the bay, should I say, but they are horrendous, the taxis. So in our hotel, it was fab because straight away you got the taxi because they would obviously ring one in. But the moment that you then go anywhere that you go in to then have to get a taxi back, that's then the issue.
You struggle.
One, if you ring 9 times out of 10, it seems like they've had quite a lot of trouble with taxi and people either not being there when they've said that they're going to be there, so now they just don't go. So you've got to find a reliable source, or you've got, like, bus stands but for taxis, which we were probably stood at that bus stand for a good hour, I would say.
Yeah, the supply and demand is all wrong. You know, there's massive demand for taxis. If you could imagine, you know, there's certain parts of the island, whether it's beaches, whether it is the hot spots in the nightlife, there is a lot of people wanting to get home, get back to the hotels. So there's lines of people waiting for taxis, and there's just not enough taxi drivers. There's not enough firms. So the hotels was spotless for, like, it was amazing for us. They'd kind of ring through and it's within 10 minutes.
But on the last day, that's when we heard about the water taxi, wasn't it?
That's right.
And I'm sure the guy behind the desk was saying it was like 15 euros, I think he said it was.
Which, yeah, but that's. I also think that was a great. It's a bit of a shame that we kind of missed that.
As we was waiting to go home.
It's like, because that would have been just a great experience, just to be in a water taxi.
Yeah. So that's an option that we've got as well. But then also, that's the difference to, you know, when we can finally book somewhere, we can say this is where we're going to be, because, I mean, that does make a huge difference. If somebody is 30, 40 minutes away from even the venue, like, it's going to make difference in things like that. So, no, I think...
So that's why I said, if you are looking for hotels right now, and all you know right now is Ibiza, to fine-tune it a little bit more is if you are around the San Antonio Bay area, where it's nightlife and it's all the hotspot is, as well as more towards the west side of the island, then you are going to be within 15 minutes of anywhere that we will be, or anywhere that we'll want to be.
Gonna go,
you know. So because we are going to have approximately around about 35 to potentially 40, 45 people there. It's only going to be an intimate, like we've always said, but the reality is we're not all going to be in the same place. We could potentially be in let's say a hotel, but in terms of a villa, you're not going to get a villa for 35 people. So being able to travel to and from where our base would be is going to be amazing. So that's what we're working on as quickly as possible. But to tell you the truth, I am just so excited with all the things that we want to do in our family holiday stroke our wedding
I can't
adventure.
wait to look back after next year and see what we're saying in these videos now to what happened. Like, what did we do? What didn't we do? What did we do? I can't wait to compare the two. But no, I think like that's where we're at, isn't it? And you know, there's so many things still going around both our minds and heads, and you know, start to tell bridesmaids and best men, and it's just very exciting. And like, I'm super excited. I feel very organised for that section of like telling people. How do you feel about that? I know we're not going to go too much into it.
No, yeah. Well, I'm not telling your bridesmaids, so I've done nothing in terms of that.
No, I know. Oh God.
Well,
I feel very organised. I hope.
No, yeah, I feel organised. I mean, in my mind, I know exactly what or who. I know exactly. I think in terms of the what you've been doing is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to the next few weeks, because in the next few weeks we've got lots of great milestones, if you like, exciting things. On the 21st of October, we're going to be having our engagement party. We're going to have some good things happening around, and we're going to have opportunities to talk about stag and hen, and you know, during this whole time, it's just about trying to just check things off. One of the things that we haven't even spoken about is I can't wait. Just think about that morning or the night before we're actually going to Ibiza, and going to the airport, going into the lounge.
I've got so many questions. Like, can I take my wedding dress on the plane in a box? I'm not joking, because I've seen that on YouTube. But can you? I mean, you must be able to, because she did. But the thought process of not having take everything else, as long as I've got like whatever shoes I'm going to be wearing, the actual dress,
just in case your luggage goes missing. Could you imagine? So even if we had to purchase extra luggage for you to have.
Well, I'm going to have extra luggage anyway.
Well, yeah, but do you know what I mean?
I'm going to have so basically I'm going to have a bag, a case for just my hen day, because there's going to be multiple, I mean, I say multiple outfit changes. I don't know how that's going to happen. But a case for my hen. Then there's going to have to be a case just for my holiday. I mean, I take a case
for the wedding day. So
case for the wedding day. What else? I think that's it. I'm going to say 3 cases. Let's see what I get to at the time. How many cases do you think you'll need?
Well, I've got lots of things that I need to think about. I mean, I've got to think about, do I want to go play golf and take my golf clubs? Do I want to...
Where are your golf clubs? Where are they?
At the warehouse. Do I want to take my golf clubs?
No.
Do I need to make sure that I get the Aston Martin over there?
Oh, God. You do whatever you want to do.
I would probably go as far to say I will probably have a case for the holiday and maybe a case for wedding related stuff.
Tell you what, I need to get
But the holiday that we've just had has just shown us on delays can occur. We've never in our history ever experienced any issue, or I haven't, with luggage.
We don't need to talk about that.
We're not talking about it. No, but we need to plan ahead for it. So it's like the things that are the most critical, we've got to make sure that we get that on the
that's going to be a whole new level of just pure scaredness for me. Like, I get nervous as it is, because we've had a couple of incidences. I mean, one major one where we didn't have our cases and they literally didn't even put them onto the plane when we was leaving Turkey.
And it took us 3 days to get them.
3 days. I mean, that's probably why we're going for 2 weeks, because God forbid if anything like that happened.
And that's why we put the wedding at the back end of the holiday as well. So one can get a tan, or if something does happen, please, airline, get us our luggage.
Yeah, so there's that. But I'm just trying to think, like, what... The dress, obviously. I don't even know shoes and things like that. But I'm going to look on Amazon after this, because, I watched Ellie Swift's YouTube video because she got married in Ibiza. That's the one I was showing you the other night. And she bought a wedding dress box off Amazon, and she fitted in that her shoes, her dress, everything she was wearing on the day, basically, and she actually took that on the flight with her. But it was a huge box. I mean, can that just be your travel? Could that be my travel on? Because that's what I'll be doing. I will have guarded.
We'll have to look into it, because, like, number one, everybody that's got a seat gets hand luggage, which means that historically, for somebody like, let's say, Harper, she just takes her toys and stuff, but she never maxes out her luggage capacity, which means that we could probably get some of her toys for that flight, get some of her toys maybe in a bit of my luggage, a bit of your luggage, but it gives us an extra luggage to actually utilise.
This is how naive we are, mate. Do you say when you're booking a holiday that's for a wedding, this case must get off this plane because it's for a wedding?
Probably not, because then they'll take it. They'll be like,
scratch that.
As soon as you say wedding, it's like, so
that'll be £5,000 up front, please, for them cases.
Yes, luggage isn't free for you.
No, I'm gonna. That's criteria for me. One thing I would like to get is a wedding planning bulk. Just so we can. I mean, this is kind of our wedding planning diary videos that we're doing, to be fair. But a nice book to. Oh, you are.
We're going to work on it. I mean, there's lots of things that we're going to still work out.
Time's ticking.
I know, time is ticking, but... God,
yes.
2 weeks.
It's going to be great. And like we've said in the past, we're going to have people on this podcast, and I can't wait to... Because I get it, everyone watching, we're not giving too much away, because... We're not going to, basically. We're just not. However, when we start, talking about the episodes of the hen do's and the stag do's, that is then we're going to I can't wait to hear the feedback and, like, what they all think it should be type of thing.
In all honesty, and you guys maybe correct us if we're wrong, but I think last week, talking about the wedding day, we disclosed more in that episode than we've spoken to personally to all our friends and family. I also think in this episode, please correct me if I'm wrong, we've spoken about a lot that we've not even spoken about in person.
Because I only spoke about them this morning, that's why.
I can't remember you doing that, though.
Anyway, that's facts. But no, I think... I'm glad that we've done that, because I can't wait, because you're all going to be watching it now. So you sat there, you might have... I wonder how people watch. I wonder if they have a cup of coffee or a drink. Let us know. Like, how do they watch? Why are you laughing when I say that?
I imagine we're probably... some people watch it on the big screen, so we are massive right now. Or I'm massive right now. But we're going to have an episode on lots of things that we're doing on that side, that front as well. But... yeah, we digress a little bit, but I've absolutely loved talking about the ideas of the 2 weeks. I want it to be jam-packed excitement. I want it to be chilled. I want to have amazing weather and great sunshine. I want the children to have an amazing time. Lots of great family memories and friend memories. Mm-hmm. We're going to have great family and friends come and want to spend their time and everything that they're doing leading up to it, because everybody is in sacrifice mode and health and fitness mode and saving mode, and it's all gonna be for this 2 weeks.
Do you know what? I was actually thinking that this morning. I feel so grateful that we have the people around us, because it literally has been a hot topic. But just also, in all seriousness, it's a lot of money for a normal holiday, isn't it?
Yes.
For people to go away on holiday, it's a lot of money. So the fact that people are, coming on away to Ibiza for our wedding, I mean, I'm super grateful for that, because
100%.
I just think it makes me feel really special. Like, I like the fact that people, thank God, otherwise
people like you. No.
I'm so glad you all like me. No. I feel grateful is what I'm basically saying. I feel very grateful that we've got the family and friends around us, because it just makes everything else seem so much more special.
Truth be told, I mean, we could be anywhere and it will always be just more special, and more memories that we'll cherish for the rest of our lives will be because of the people that are with us, our friends, our family, and together, that's what actually makes it. Like, we could go to Ibiza ourselves with Theo and Harper. We'd have a great time, but everything is always better when you've got the people that you love around you. So we're super, super excited about it. I think we want it to be memories that last a lifetime for us because it's our wedding adventure, but we also want it to be incredible memories for our family within your families, because at the end of the day, yes, it is a holiday for us, but it's also holiday for many of our friends and family that are traveling from different parts of the world. We've had over this last, say, month or so, the amount of people that have said to me, like, it's about time, Kev, or in a joking way, and the amount of people that have said to me, I'm so excited for, I'm so excited that you are doing this now.
Yeah, same.
And the amount of family members that you've messaged saying it's going to be in Ibiza, and it's like, it's not even a hesitation. It's like, we're there, we're super excited.
Yeah. Do you know what I can't wait for as well? The fact that we'll all just be together.
Yes.
Never had that where, your friends and all your family are all together. Like, that's like the best scenario ever. Because you've just... I can't wait for the fact of just it. I can't wait for it to be all there together, special moments, memories made, like you've said, but all being there together, and we're forever, we're all going to share that moment together, and that lead up and the holiday and just everything. I cannot wait.
And it makes it even like obviously you're going to have your period for the hen do or my period for the stag do, but then it's kind of like what we've said. It's like what do they call it?
I don't know.
I can't remember which way it went. It was like a sten or something. we're there together. We're enjoying it together.
Yeah. And then that's another thing. Like, got to think about, what am I going to do when you're on your stag? What are you going to do when I'm on my hen?
Well, we're going to have a great day with the children, and when we're away, you're going to have a great day with the children.
Yep.
And it's going to be really fun, and we'll have a fantastic time. So,
yeah,
I think that allows us to give you a little bit of an idea of what we're doing for our 2 weeks. To give you a bit of a sneak peek into next week, I think, because I always like to give you a little bit of a teaser for next week, because I really appreciate you always coming back and watching. So, over this next couple of weeks, we've got lots of great things coming up. Some things I can just talk about, some things I can't talk about. But I think what would be amazing to talk about next week, personally, is what are we working on in terms of our health and fitness a little bit.
Yep.
Because, can I just add, and we're not going to go into this right now, but over this last 6 weeks, you have been a machine when it comes to your consistency, your discipline, waking up first thing in the morning, heading to the gym, food and everything, which we'll get into. But as an overall with our group and our family, it's had a real impact on everybody's talking about wanting to get into shape or feel better about themselves. And we're going to talk about all that next week, because I think that's an episode in itself, because I've got things that, my thoughts are, and you've got things that your thoughts are. So thank you very much for spending some time with us here on Marriage Material Episode 4.
Episode 4 already.
I know, Episode 4. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. If whatever platform that you're in, if it does have the potential to submit a review or, a five-star review, please. Because we can't cope if it was a negative review. Could you imagine?
I'd write back to you. Leave me alone. I'm talking about our wedding.
Could you imagine?
No, I can't. I mean, no, wouldn't be able to handle that. If someone said something mean like, ooh, that jumper's disgusting. What do you want me to do?
I think that'll keep
I'm not
us up at
I'm
night.
not confrontational, but please don't leave hate. It's just not nice. Love,
No.
spread love. We're talking about a wedding. We don't need negativity. We need positivity.
Yeah, so please give us a positive route, because otherwise, Kylie will hunt you down. And yeah, but thank you guys very much for being here. We really appreciate you.
We do.
I love doing this with you.
I love this. I love you. And I love you.
We'll see you
Next
in
week.
episode 5 next week. In
Bye.
Marriage Material. Bye, guys.
That was really good, that one.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I did. I could have just carried on talking.
I could have talked all day.